We are now at that point in the season where couples are becoming more desperate than ever. We are seeing one person from each couple doing things that is literally survival mode. And the maddest part about it is because they have caused their own issues. So we're going to start off with the hard-hitting one, Rick and Trish. And boy.
Ex on vacation in Colombia, and my feelings were very strong for her. The relationship ended because we couldn't figure out how to make our future work together. It was my ex blocked me because she knew that I was going to Madagascar to meet Trish.
So at this point, when he says that my ex blocked me because she knew that I was going to Madagascar to meet Trish, that told me one simple thing. That this man, when he went to Colombia to spend time with her, he had obviously told her that his relationship with Trish was now over. He had obviously told her that he was now available to try and pursue, rekindle their relationship again. But instead, he went to Colombia, had a great time with her. And then when he got back to the USA, what happened? Trisha then finally responded to him. So therefore, he thought, well, you know what? In that case, let me see if I can still make things work with Trisha. And in the meantime, I'm just going to pretty much sideline my ex. But at the same time, though, when I sideline her, I'm still going to give a little inkling that maybe there's a winner to come back. But here's the thing, though. The ex was not happy with that. So what happened? Well, let's get into what's happened here.
It took me totally off guard that she unblocked me and she was contacting me at this time.
And the ex said, hold on a minute, I know my worth. How dare you come here, spend time with me, rekindle things, make me be my feelings again for you. For you to just say, you know what, I'm going to try things with the new person. And everything that we did was actually potentially a mistake. So of course she blocked him. It only makes sense for her to block him. But then why unblock him? This is where the things get interesting. Now, to begin with, I was under the influence that this ex, by blocking him, chose to be reality ready. But instead of choosing to be reality ready, she chose to then unblock him because she wanted to become moving mad. Let's continue because, boy.
It's simple though. Why don't you block her? If you want this relationship, make her understand that I'm with you.
She already knows that I'm with you.
She doesn't know. That's why she keep texting you.
She doesn't know.
Tell her.
I mean, where's the lie? Where is that lie?
Block her here and tell her. Nothing to say.
I'm conflicted. I love you so much, but I blocked her.
The amount of times I've heard this man say that I'm conflicted this season is crazy. I'd be a millionaire. We would all be millionaires. But the amount of times he has said, oh, I'm conflicted, each time shit has hit the fan. But let's talk about it real quick. So, we've got the Colombian ex who decided to block him when she understood that this man was not going to make her the number one girl in his life. But then decides to unblock him, and then what does he do? He decides to message her back whilst he's on the trip with Trish. But why would he do that? Because you see, he's somebody that likes to have all of his eggs available at any given time. If anything, when the ex unblocked him, who told him that he had to respond to her? Hell, how do we even know that she unblocked him and then messaged him first? He may have seen her unblock him and been like, oh, let me message her. Either way, though, just because she's unblocked you doesn't mean that he had to reopen that door. And he did. He chose to do so. And then this man had the audacity to say, and I didn't put it in this clip, he had the audacity to say that, you know, he just needed to, no, he had the audacity to say that I was wrong by being disrespectful by messaging her back whilst I was on this trip. Along those lines. Buddy, it doesn't matter whether you would have responded to her on the trip here right now in Madagascar, or if you respond to once you got back in the States. The matter of the fact is you would have still opened the door, which would have been a massive disrespect to Trisha regardless of when you did it. But he tries to make her look like that. But here's the thing though, folks. Trisha doesn't get away with this one. No. The fact that she's sitting there and saying that you should block this woman, so therefore we have any chance of moving forward. Excuse me? What? Whether this man wants to block this woman or not, why does he deserve to have another chance with you? And this would be chance number 3, I believe. The man's already cheated on you. Then he's already shown you that he's still texting this woman. And now you want to say, oh, but you should block him. You should block her. But let's talk about why these women are now having a war over this guy. You see, the only reason why the ex decided to unblock him, in my humble opinion, is simply because she sat there and said, hold on a minute. I can't let this woman win this man. I'm about to sabotage that shiz. I'm actually going to tell him that I want him back. Do what I can to make him walk away from her. And then once I've got him back to where I need him, I'm then just going to drop him. So therefore, he has a taste of his own medicine, which should be fair. Sounds quite fun, right? But why be petty? Why scoop yourself to that level? Let this man do his madness. Just move on with your life and do better. But you see, Trisha, on the other hand, she also chooses that moving mad path. Where she's like, well, I want you to block her. But does she want her to block him? Does she want him to block her because she actually wants to give him another chance? Give me your thoughts on that one. Or do you think that she wants him to block her so therefore she knows that she's got the upper hand on this woman? Because this is something that can happen with women sometimes. Give me your thoughts on this one, please. But let's continue with this moving madness.
Love Trish, but love isn't so black and white.
And why is love not so black and white? You see, for Rick, he believes that love isn't so black and white because he's in a position where he's now in love with not one, but two women. Does he understand that he has to understand what love actually is? What it means for him to even be in that position? It's funny though, because I've said this before. Love isn't something that is based on actually a feeling. Love is something that you choose to do. When you have a child, you choose to love your child, whether you're the mother or the father. And then some people, when they have a child, they choose to abandon their child and not love their child. Love is a choice. This is why we have conversations about how love can be conditional versus unconditional. When people buy a pet, they have a dog, cat, whatever, they choose to love and cherish and look after that pet. But then some people get a pet and they choose to be horrible to it because they're choosing whether they want to be there for it in a loving way or in a horrible way. So it's the same thing when you choose a partner. You're choosing who you want to love. So this man wants to sit here and say that, love isn't black and white because I'm choosing to love not one but two people. Interesting. You see, here's the thing though, because this man doesn't even know what love really is, doesn't even know it's a choice. He's not choosing to love two women. He's choosing to be greedy. He cannot live with the idea of having just one woman. He's one of these people that if there's an option of more than one woman in his life, he wants to have them both. He is a greedy man. No love is involved. There's no black and white. You're just greed. That's exactly what he is. And because he's greed, what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? It means that he is simply moving mad. But let's continue with this kerfuffle over madness.
I do, but that doesn't mean I'm going back to her.
I'll never be a second choice of someone. So I'll take my love back.
And I hope she really means that. I hope she really sticks to that.
You made a choice. Let's finish.
I wish you realized that I do love her, that I do think that she's special.
Buddy, how is she supposed to realize these things if your actions don't match your words? But love is black and white, right?
I just wasn't ready.
I just wasn't ready. A grown-ass man of 52 years of age, and you're telling me you didn't know that you was ready. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to us. I'm going to keep this very simple. When it comes to Rick, what Rick needs to really recognize is what his true name is. He needs to stop lying to us. He needs to stop lying to his women and stop lying to himself. So each time he introduces himself to anybody, he should simply say that, by the way, my name is P-R-I-C-K, rather than lying and say his name is Rick, because you ain't that. But hey, with that being said though, I want to know, do you think, well, the preview for next week shows that Rick is finally leaving Madagascar to go back to the United States, and then Trisha happens to appear at the airport. Do you think that she's appeared at the airport with the intentions of moving mad and giving this man another chance to win her back? Or do you think that she will be attending that airport because she wants to be reality ready and wants to tell him that, hey, when you get on that plane, never come back. Because I don't want to see your deadbeat ass ever again. Give me your thoughts, please do. But now we're going to move on to the next one. And this one here is all about Elise. You know, when it comes to Elise and Josh, I feel like a whole lot of things happen in their scenes, but a whole lot of nothing's really happening. But anyway, let's get into this gibberish here of another person of this week's episode that is pretty much in survivor mode because of their own madness.
We're not going to be able to talk to my son. But, there's other people to consider as well. You know, him, his mother. So I'm sorry.
Well, it's really upsetting that we're not going to be able to video chat him.
Yeah, it is.
I told you I want to meet people in your life. I want to see into your world. I'm here. It's more than just a broken promise. The fact that I'm leaving here soon and not being able to meet his son is like scary.
All right, cool. Let's talk about this. So first and foremost, I understand Elise's frustrations with Josh. Her frustrations is that each time he tells her something, he doesn't seem to live up to it. He seems to be somebody that will only let her down time and time again. So I understand why she's reacted this way. But at the same time, despite the fact that this is a man that lets her down time and time again with promises, it doesn't change the fact that meeting a child is a big thing. It's not necessarily a big thing for the parent. It's a big thing for the child. Because the child is being introduced to a new character, okay, in their life. Somebody who they don't know. Somebody who's a stranger. Somebody that they have to decide in that moment in time whether or not they want to try and be nice to that person, whether they want to be confident around that person, whether they want to be shy around that person. So many things goes through a child's mind when they meet a new adult. They think, oh, is this a new toy? Is this a new person for me to have fun with? Is this person here to look after me? Or this person here to be horrible to me? Who is this person? So there's so many things that have to be taken into account. So really and truly, this isn't one of those situations where I believe Elise should really be pushing the narrative of being like, yeah, but you've broken all of these promises and you're breaking another one. Like, let's listen to what else she had to say because I'm elaborating a bit too soon here.
That should be pushing harder than simply receiving a text on your phone that we can't meet your son.
That was the line that I want you to hear first before I elaborate. Should Josh be pushing harder? So this is where it gets interesting because he's somebody that is shown to break promises. I can understand why she would want him to be pushing harder to try and get the move with his son. But here's the thing. The only way Josh is going to push harder, or the only way he's going to push harder is if he truly knows that he wants to be with Elise. If he knows that his feelings for her have grown. If he knows that he's finally falling for her. He's getting to the point where he's like, you know what? This is the woman that I want to love for the rest of my life. This is the woman that I want my children to love. Okay, cool. He should be pushing it. Not push it too much, but pushing it. But if he's unsure about this woman, if he's unsure about whether or not he wants to be with Elise or not, well then, he definitely shouldn't be pushing nothing. In fact, the idea shouldn't even be an idea. So really and truly, is Josh not pushing it because he simply he's simply unsure on Elise? That is the real question right there. But you see, Elise wouldn't think like that because, well, she's Elise.
Settling for no doesn't make me feel like you're going to fight for us.
I wouldn't blame you for not coming back or walking away.
And then he comes out with that line. I wouldn't blame you for walking away. This man is literally saying that, listen, I'm just letting you know that since I've known you, I've let you down time and time and time again. And I'm probably never going to stop letting you down time and time again. Why? Because I really just don't care. That's why I keep doing it. So if you want to leave, listen, by all means necessary, do what you got to do. But you see, Elise wasn't willing to listen to that. She didn't like that statement. She was like, huh? You want to just give me up just like that? But here's the thing though, Elise isn't registering this information in her head. But then at the same time though, Josh is one of these funky guys who will say one thing like that, but then he'll bounce back with something else. And the reason why he will bounce back with a certain line is simply because he wants to still have control, or at least hope to have control on how this relationship goes. Or for at least, as long as Elise is still in Australia, he definitely wants to keep her where he needs her.
What do you mean disrespectful?
You just told me I could walk away.
I said I wouldn't blame you if you walked away. I'm in love with you.
And like, of course, it's...
Really? You just told her that she could walk away if she wanted to. Now you're saying that you're in love with her. Really? Come on, man. Playing games here, aren't you, Joshua boy? Joshua?
so nice to hear it. But I mean, he's telling me this right after giving me the bad news. He literally tells me everything I want to hear. But I feel like he sometimes kind of just says things to appease me. It's going to do X, Y, and Z, but there's like no action behind that.
You have hit the nail on the head. The question is though, is Elise reality ready to actually realize that all this information that she has, all the data that she has collected is telling her one simple thing. That if you continue to see this man, if you continue to pursue a relationship with this man, you won't be reality ready. You will be moving mad. But this is Elise, so what do we expect from her, ladies and gentlemen? Please do let me know in the comment section.
I'm just like, I don't know if you're stable.
I want to make it work. I believe
But why can't you accept your...
I believe that it will work in my eyes. I think the excuse is to make it not work.
Okay, so his response is, I want to do what it takes to make it work. But you're probably going to sabotage him no matter what. He's not wrong. But is there a way of him is there a way of him preventing Elise from sabotaging? If he truly wants to be with this woman, is there a way he can prevent her from self-sabotaging? Because the question that has to be asked is, why would she be in a position to self-sabotage? Is it because of her past relationships? Or is it simply because, well, you're not reliable? You're not stable right now. I think most women in this world would look at you and be like, well, you're not stable right now. At your age, 39 allegedly, and you're not stable in your life? Do I really want to bring someone in to my life at this stage? Especially if you're dealing with a woman who's also, in her 30s or 40s. Is a woman at that age really looking to bring in a man who's going to be a project for her to try and fix and sort out? I doubt that. I'd argue, say 99% of the women in this world would be like, nah, I'm good. I'd rather find a man that's already got all of his shit together, or at least halfway there, or at least 3/4 there. But you're in a situation where you just don't have anything. You're living in your friend's house rent-free. Your job's all about is there, and everywhere. You can't even have control of your own child. Whether, like, when you can see him or whatnot, like, you have nothing going for you right now. So here's the thing: could he prevent this? So that's the thing, isn't it? If he was to actually sort his life out, tell Elise, okay, cool. So this is now my plan. These are the things I'm going to do now to make sure that all of these things come together. Maybe their relationship can propel from there. But I wouldn't blame her if she still wanted to self-sabotage the relationship, because to be fair, at her age and his age, should she be waiting for a grown-ass man to finally get his life together? In some situations, that is okay, because context is key. But in this situation, is it okay? Well, ladies, and even gentlemen, let me know. What would you do in this situation? Would you give Josh a chance? Or would you be like, nah, I'm good. I know my current worth and it's not you. Well, it's up to you guys, whatever you want. And to be fair, there is no wrong or right answer, technically speaking, because, your answer, there is no right or wrong answer. As long as the reasons you got behind it are good ones. As long as the reasons are reality ready and not moving mad. So please let me know in the comment section if you don't mind. But now we're going to move on to, I'm going to say this one right here is the queen of survival mode of this episode, Laura. I said that was such but anyway.
I want to show him that I'm serious about our relationship and that my feelings for him are so much stronger than how I ever felt about Michael. Worried that if you knew that I was the one who had feelings at one point, that I was the one that hit on him, that you would try to put a stop to my friendship with him.
Laura. The woman that is a teacher. How this is possible is crazy. But Laura. Put yourself in his shoes. Do you think the things that just come out of your mouth make sense? Put yourself in his shoes. The matter of fact is, would Laura be okay being in a relationship, pursuing a relationship with a man that has a female friend that he's close to? Would she be okay with that? That is the main question right there. Especially then finding out that the person that you're with made a move on his female friend. Would you be okay with that? Reverse the situation. And then he came up to you and said, but this is how I should have been honest with you, but I wasn't, because I was too afraid of you making me choose between my female friend and yourself. How does she think that translates? How does she think that translates? Ladies and gentlemen, please, I want to know. That statement right there, I didn't want to tell you that I made a move on my best friend because I was afraid it was going to put you in a position or put me in a position where I had to choose between the two. I had to, not be allowed to have my friend in my life anymore. How does that translate? I want to know. And I'll be reading the comments. I want to see who gives me moving mad to comment responses and who gives me reality ready. Oh, yeah.
Tell you that you are not a replacement for Michael. Are so much sweeter and kinder and so much more of the type of man I actually want to be with.
If that was the case, then why did Michael find the need to have to fly out here to check up on me? Why did he feel the need to fly out here and to see if I'm a good guy? If these things were true, then Michael wouldn't be here right now. Michael's only here because you was unsure about me. Because you kept telling him all the bad things about me rather than the good things. So now he's here to see for himself. Actually, no, that's a lie. She was telling him all the good things about him. But Michael wasn't too sure because some of the good things he was doing didn't line up with certain things. So that was the situation. But either way, though, if I was really this guy that was so great for you, then none of your friends should have to come here to give you validation on whether we are good or not.
5,000 times in a row that I love you, but like you said, I'm into actions.
You feel better if I just cut him out of my life.
Really? Really? After all this time, now you want to bring up the option of cutting him out? But what about when I said it? What about when I suggested to you that no, this man should not be in your life, and you said, nah, he's my best friend, he must be here. But now you're in survivor mode. Queen survivor mode. Now all of a sudden you want to what? Now you want to tell me. Now you want to give me the option. Give me the option of telling you to cut him out. Even though I already gave you that option a long time ago. That ball was in your court. And now you're giving the ball into my court? Laura. Survivor mode sucks.
What it's going to take to fix this and for you to trust me, I would do that. Possibility that I would eventually have to choose between my best friend and the love of my life.
Well, we all know why this woman's been single for as long as she has been. Honestly, why is she acting so surprised that that things have finally come to this? This ultimatum was always going to happen. It was the inevitable, especially given the way she has conducted everything. Well, let me know. Do you think Laura was moving mad in that scene, or do you think that she was reality ready? With that being said, we're now going to move on to Stig. Stig and Aviva. And Stig comes in with one hell of a... yeah.
When do you plan on applying for the fiance visa? So I can come here and live here in Belize.
I thought you were going to apply for me in the U.S.
No.
What?
Stig never mentioned wanting to move to the U.S. And based on everything that he said to me on the phone, and since I've been in Belize, I had always thought that I was going to be the one moving here.
You know, Aviva's... do you know what? I really wanted to like Aviva this season. But she's just somebody who just says things that she's recognizing that aren't good things, but then doesn't actually want to act on the things that she's seen. I don't understand where this level of desperation comes from with this woman. Like, who has she been with in the past that's put her in this position of such desperation? You know? Like, yo, the guy just literally told you off the whim a day or two before you're about to fly back to the United States that, hold on a minute, no. I want to come to America. When the whole trip, all they've ever spoke about was her moving to Belize. And in the same light of this whole trip, he's also been exposed for potential infidelity as well. So many things have been negative about this guy since you've been there. The only thing that he has done that isn't even positive, because it wasn't done for the right reasons, in my opinion, and that was propose. But did he do it for the right reasons? Well, let's play some more.
I'm super popular in Belize, but I'm not making no
American money. And the only
It's just really weird timing, and I can't help feeling like, is this a red flag? Did he propose just so he could get to the US?
You know, when she says that statement and then asks the question, she makes it sound so dumb. Like, yes, this is probably why. But you know what though? Let's just spin the narrative here real quick. Not the narrative, but let me just change this a little bit, make it a little bit more different. Let's remove some context and replace some context here. Let's just go off the idea of this man has told you last minute that he now wants to come to the United States and he doesn't want you to be moving into Belize. Okay? You have now put two and two together and you're saying to yourself that maybe he's using me for just the visa. Why would you want to stay with somebody that wants to blindside information last minute? That's not a healthy dynamic. He's putting you in a position where you have to make a choice last minute, rather putting you in a position where you have time to think about your choice. But to be fair, does she have time? Yes. It's just that based on the way it's gone about, she's made to feel as if this is the only choice that we have. But in reality, she has got time because he's not coming to the United States with her now. She's going back by herself. So within that time, she's got time to think about it and then come back to him and let him know what she wants to do. If I was her, I would say to him, I want to be here in Belize. It's the only way we're going to work. See his reaction. Is he going to break up with her, or is he going to keep it going? Do it that way. Then she'll know it. Then she'll know everything that she needs to know, because everybody knows two people that truly want to be with each other. It doesn't matter the location, they will be together. Just that simple. So if your relationship is based on a location, then you never had a relationship in the first place, because all you ever were to that person was a location.
in America, there's a lot more opportunities for me as an artist, for me to make good money, real money. Like network with other big dancehall artists, bigger than myself.
So why not tell her this whole time?
Network with other big dancehall artists, bigger than myself. And I know people. Not in Arizona. I don't know nobody. Or down to go to Houston. There's more opportunity for me in Houston.
He truly knows how to make things worse for himself, doesn't he? I mean, this is a guy this whole time was trying to tell the family that he's not in this relationship for the wrong reasons, that he has not cheated on Aviva. All of a sudden, he's blindsiding her, and on top of blindsiding her about wanting to move to America, she finally gets on the plane, and his conversation he's having here is talking about opportunities in Houston. The guy doesn't even want to actually even live in Arizona where she's from. To make it worse, who else lives in Houston as well? It's nothing but an absolute calamity.
Houston. Best friends, producer friends. My ex is in Houston with that. I'll ring off, but hey.
The guy really thinks it's funny. Oh yeah, my ex is in Houston and I'm not wearing the ring right now, so hey. I'm leaving that one there as it is. Just let me know your thoughts here. Do you think that Aviva will ever be reality ready to recognize that this man is not worth her time? Or do you think she'll choose the path of continuously allowing him in her life because she prefers the life of moving mad rather than reality ready? But now we're going to move on to the last couple. And this one is all about Sheena and Forrest.
Forrest can be way too optimistic at times, and his autism can affect that because he isn't able to focus in on what the realities are.
That if you moved here, yes, you'd be with Sheena, all that. And then the whole goal of ever trying to get to the United States would just go out the window. You've never worked here, you've had one job in your life. You are on disability.
I have to overcome my own challenges.
Disability for a reason.
I'm sick and tired of the disability thing being the angle all the time with the mother. The son just said, listen, you have to allow me to conquer my own challenges. So let him do that. So she does not want him to be in the Philippines because of his autism. You know what's so interesting? Hold on a minute.
That if you moved here, yes, you'd be with Sheena, all that. And then the whole goal of ever trying to get to the United States would just go out the window. You've never worked here, you've had one job in your life. You are on disability.
I have to overcome my own challenges.
Disability.
The question is, why has he only ever had one job in his life? That was my first question. But then,
for a reason. My process where you come back to the United States. contact Social Security and say that you want to start working.
No.
So he's had one job his whole entire life purely because he didn't decide to contact civil service at some point later on to then get another job. Is that what I'm hearing here? Because all I'm hearing here is the mother pretty much exposing why her son has never had a job. Because she has told him that he doesn't have to work because he's on disabilities. And because he's autistic, therefore going to work is something that he doesn't need to do. She's enabled him to do this, knowing full well that he could actually end up, that he could easily go out there and get another job. And now we're finding out that to do that, all you had to do was contact a certain person. Social Security Services, I think she said. That's all she had to do. Just to help him get more work. And also, we now know that in real time, he's got a job too. So that means this whole time, this man literally was not working because, well, either one, by his own choice, or two, but his mum told him that it's okay, just live off your disability, son. Oh.
I want you to be here, my love. It's been 7 years, so hard for me.
Oh, God.
You know, Lucy,
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you folks. My reaction was exactly the same as Molly's. The second that she started to drop the tears, my love, I was like, here we go again. The Sheena tears. You know, is the waterworks have started again. Does Sheena not get bored of crying? Like, yo, oh my days, the way this woman can cry is so easy. She must be a Cancer, 100%. Because boy, the Cancers can cry off the whim like that. Or she could be a Gemini, to be fair. Yes, one of the two. But anyway, let's continue.
Please, stop. You don't know how I feel. It's hard for me for the last 7 minutes of waiting for him.
Conflicted about everything. I don't want to leave you, but I think I'm going to work, make some money, and then I'm going to apply for the K1 visa.
Hurts.
Now Sheena's upset that Molly won her son back.
That Forrest happened to change his mind. It feels like he would rather choose his mom over me. Stand.
This is the part that's so sad. Sheena sees it as mum versus her. Meanwhile, Molly sees it more as, I just want my son to be around me. And I need to make sure that he's okay. Because I don't know if he can navigate this world. I don't want him to navigate the way without me. Now, I'm not saying that Molly doesn't see it as herself versus... It's just that Molly's happy for Sheena to come to the States. She's just not happy with her son moving to Philippines. You see what I'm saying? Especially given the fact that the idea was for Sheena to come to the States. So therefore, this is why it's quite saddening that Sheena sees it more as a competition between him and his mum. When that isn't necessarily the case, per se. Ah, man, this is hard work, these two.
If he happened to work in the US, he could earn much more better money. Forrest wouldn't find a job that easy because of his disability issues. I know that Molly would still have worries and doubts regarding our relationship. And I'm worried that she could influence him and cause problems.
To be fair, the reality is this. Because he's on the spectrum, is America a better place for him to try and find work rather than the Philippines? Because one of the things that we do know is that when Brandon moved to the... Is it the Philippines or Thailand? It was the Philippines, right, with Mary. We know that he struggled to get work purely because he did not speak the language. But of course, this is based on the type of work that he was looking for. So therefore, it makes it all subjective, right? But I'm just saying that finding work for him was, at least what the story portrayed, was that it was something that wasn't as easy as 1, 2, 3. So with Forrest and stuff in particular, would he be able to find a job easily in Thailand, in the Philippines? And even if he did, would he be able to sustain one due to maybe the fact that they may not cater to the fact that he's on the autism? You know, because I do know that America compared to a lot of countries, the way they cater to people on the spectrum is very good compared to others. I mean, listen, over here in the UK, I hear about it all the time where there's a lot of parents who have good kids on the spectrum and they speak about how the resources in America are far much more advanced and far much more better for children on the spectrum as well as adults. So there is that something that has to be taken into account massively when it comes to Forrest choosing to relocate, especially when relocating involves him needing to get a job. Because if he's going to go to the Philippines, well, I mean, unless Sheena's happy just to do all the work, to do all the work, that's just unnecessary. Especially if them two were to ever have children. So really and truly, I do understand that moving to America may be the better option because Sheena's got a better chance of finding work in America than Forrest has of finding work in Philippines. Sheena's got a better chance of sustaining a job in America than Forrest may potentially have from sustaining a job in the Philippines. So things do work more in favor for that move. But either way though, what's going to happen? Well, one thing that we do know is that Forrest did go to back home and he is working in America. The real question is, what is the future of their relationship? I guess we'll have to wait until the tell to find out more, right? But hey, with that being said though, even though the mum is still intervening way too much, does she have a point? Give me your thoughts. But I feel like the main thing here is that despite everything that I just said, should Forrest still have the opportunity to move to the Philippines and at least have the experience of deciding for himself whether or not if the Philippines is good or bad for him? And I think this is the thing. In life, it's all about life lessons. Despite everything that I've said, it doesn't mean that he shouldn't at least try living in the Philippines to see if it works. Because here's the thing. If you can at least try, at least he knows he can always go back home. The only problem with that is that if he was to move to the Philippines to try and make it work and it didn't work, it means that he has to return to America by himself, get a job anyway, and still wait a good 2 years minimum, if anything, until when? Until he can actually bring Sheena over on a K1 visa. So there is also that part too. Him moving there can cause a delay if it doesn't work out for them. So him actually going back to the States, it does make sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, it's not my life. With that being said, let me know your choices. What would you do? And please do hype the video on your way out if you are reality ready. And also subscribe as well on top of that, as well as liking the video and comment down below. Have a great day. Thank you.